Well, let's rise and shine here this lovely morning. Paris is looking beautiful, and we head to Bank, though. It's Heretics, it's NIP. Heretics with the opportunity to secure themselves a place in playoffs for NIP. And they looked a little bit better against M80, and I think that they'll take that confidence coming into this matchup and feel as if that they should be favorites as per social prediction. Nevertheless, it's never that easy, and for Heretics, they're coming into this entire event playing with free money.
Yeah, absolutely, and that pressure factor probably cannot be understated. There'll be an element of it for Heretics in the sense that they are now so tantalizingly close to making it through to the next phase, but NIP certainly with the expectation to really fly the flag for the LATAM region at this event, following in the footsteps of so many great teams before them. As for the bans, we did see them play out. As a quick recap, Monty, Glaz, Azami, Mira, so very standard bans. Glaz gets doubled in a little bit on this particular map given his strengths, especially top and bottom floors, but standard outside of that. And probably a follow-on from the map veto itself, which again, dipping into very standard maps. Now, unfortunately, I do believe we may be... Okay, I thought we were under the impression we needed a tech pause due to some technical gremlins, but it seems like that is not the case, and we can jump straight into the action and basement for this opening round. I did lie to you. I suppose it has been fixed, which is good.
You were preparing me for it, and it doesn't even happen. Yeah, I mean, Heretics is going to be the team that I'm very more curious about in this matchup, because the expectation really should be for NIP, good opportunity, get themselves back into things, and from there then kind of get underway this event. They have not really been awful by any stretch of the imagination, competitive against M80, but yeah, they should be the favorites. And what I want to kind of see then from NIP in this first half on the attack, try and really get into the building, try and take these gunfights, try and get into the face of Heretics. The Heretics have been playing really, really well so far. I mean, they, of course, only beat FearX, but they beat them pretty convincingly. We'll see if they can back it up here. They did have yesterday off, and there are benefits from having the day off. You are Heretics. So NIP has played 2 different series. Heretics just the one, and funnily enough, Heretics off that one, now win this, and they can get out of groups.
So top-down clear here from NIP, and a full belt of utility essentially available for the latter portion of this round. Key players being likely Kino and Wizard, the belt of utility that the Capital and the Ying can provide. The map clear itself has been rather successful. It's been of course, peeled by Heretics.
Yeah, it's a pretty soft kind of roam from Heretics, not wanting to engage small time denial up above because they've got naturally the operators to deny from below. Yep. They're not going to play this rather default. If you look at that lineup that they've got, the smoke for denial when it comes to the gas babes, F-Not mines is more for the entries, Vulcan canisters have to be dealt with and cleared, and then the Chachanka is the... Well, he's the cream on the crop when it comes to denial with the Shamika launcher. 90 seconds left, and NIP, of course, now know there's no real contest from Heretics up above, so they'll get to work, open up the hatches. Third her canister to delay a little bit, but it's not going to really do too much against Hate. I think the emphasis for me is going to be on Fantasy and Wizard. You're playing 2 operators that are going to really help the entry, and also they can win this battle over towards Blue Stairs against Oscar, who still has 3 gas babes, and with the hatch open, he's not stuck necessarily, but a lot more difficult to get out of this position.
Yeah, likely needs to now commit 3 gas babes, needs to juggle this utility appropriately. 60 seconds, he can waste a lot of time.
Hate does find the opening pick onto Flexi, no more Zoto canisters, and indeed it looks like Oscar's going to fully commit to this Blue Stairs hold. First gas babe has been used, 2 more in pocket. Only 45 seconds remaining. I have to take in mind, of course, what kind of utility has been dealt with on site. Nice double drop into server. Fantasy finds the kill with the Vendetta. No return up above for any of the 3 defenders for Heretics. They have to stay on site and put a lot of hope into Skeptic.
Yeah, there's a real lack of planted on there outside of this Shamika launcher. NIP should be enabled to go deep here if required.
3 Candelas look like they're going to get thrown out now by Wizard. Fantasy finds another one onto you, Paul. Falling apart now for Heretics on what is a very strong defensive site when it comes to Bank. So Grubby then put himself up main stairs. Didn't work. It's flawless from NIP. Not often that you see a flawless attacking round on lockers and CCTV. That's a great start for the Brazilians.
Yeah, slow and steady winning the race there in that round for the attack. Initial clear was clean, forced the peel from Heretics, and then they're able to isolate a couple of ones, pre-execute, really weaken the plant denial potential there for Heretics, who naturally have the sense that they need to try and play make and take risk. NIP clued in, ready for that, and shut it down accordingly.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to go about it if you're Heretics, because they didn't really do anything wrong. They played at default, and that in itself might actually be considered wrong. When you get to Six Invitational, the default meta is worked out. It is known. Teams like NIP know how to play into, especially Locker CCTV, util denial, sit 5 down below in basement. It's common. So that's where if you're Heretics, you've got to throw a couple of curveballs in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of kick-started over towards server, right? We saw a good flood smoke, and then it snowballed from there. We'll see if that's the trend that continues over the course of this opening map. If NIP is strong on entry and their conversion is good, what kind of win conditions can Heretics then look to explore? We make an answers to that here. Second floor for the second round. The lineup here from NIP is quite intriguing. The sense in play. And we'll see what kind of damage the RUs can do. Typically played from Repel to cut off some of the lines of sight deep from this particular objective to then facilitate emphasis over towards most likely top square control here for the attack.
And we know that Cons, who is going to bring a lot of that shield play, is something to consider. Heretics did not opt to ban shields. We saw on the desk, Lax was bringing it up before about the shield play from NIP. So expecting Cons on the blitzes, on the Blackbeards, for instance. And obviously, Monty has been banned out, but you've got 2 more options, and then one of them might then get banned. Just helps facilitate, especially on a map like Bank, a lot of these entry positions. So in return, then therefore, you'll see the likes of the Clash being brought out by Heretics. Oscar playing that now.
Pressure on Cons, though, to perform in this matchup. He's been lacking a little bit in numbers so far at this particular event, although we know how talented he can be. So if he's able to flick that switch and find some form today, it can be a big difference maker for NIP, who have taken that top square control now.
It typically plays a bit more of the Blackbeard and the Monty, so on the Blitz now, as it is available, and the Monty is not. We pour over towards Janitor, knows that they're going to be close by. Trying to open up with the exothermic. You know, should be able to get this done on both walls. They delay a little bit. Gridlock's thing is out. Fantasy making sure that no one's going to go for that quick push. ROU's out. This seems like it should be an execute. Straight into Janitor goes Cons. Got the flash. Hasn't quite been able to get the full kill, but U-Ball was down anyway. Only 2 up right now for Heretics. 3 up for NIP. Lots of time remaining. NIP won't. They can slow things down if they wish. By the way, the kit not in hand right now for NIP, and Skeptic has gone and just found 2. Now making it a 2 versus 2 as Cons is forced to push over towards Airlock, but he knows he can't make that push across. He's being watched by Skeptic.
Pistol out, needs to isolate, one more.
Oh, Cons now in the 1 versus 1. We spoke about him prior to this round. Pistol out, just misses a little bit. Slightly lower on health, needs to get close. Flash pistol combo, there you go from Cons. Makes the blitz work. A little messy for NIP. Not how they envisioned, I imagine, that execute to go, but it's a win nevertheless.
No, not quite. A Skeptic inside of that smoke. Wow, what a risky play to make, but probably required in that particular situation for Heretics to find some kind of win con, because they surrounded and equally flooded the site so nicely, NIP, that wildcard play almost was the difference. We saw this flood through Jan. Those overboard stock as well cut off, made it up, but then this individual play right here was almost the turning point.
Well, the funny thing is, for Cons, not getting that actual kill inside of Janitor, he's not quite sure. Did I get down? Did I get the like, has he got away? Just took a little bit of time off there for NIP on the attack, but he's the one that ended up getting the clutch.
Yeah, the 1v2 isolating both, and then just the discipline there in the 1 versus 1, not to rush things. There was plenty of time. And
individually for Cons as well, as a player, when you've been kind of struggling, they've played 2 different matches now, minus 18 on KD, and it's not his role necessarily. You know, he's playing a lot more with the shield ops, but when your numbers aren't looking great, he's rated 93rd so far at the event through now heading into day 3. So you start 3-0, you have a big impact player, 1v2, you're making the shield play work. It just kind of gets you going, doesn't it? So 2-0 start for NIP. So far, following the script that we probably expected. Heretics know full well this is going to be a tough one. Much more difficult than Fearex.
NIP's map pick as well for clarity, so expecting the Brazilians to be rather formidable on this opening map. This best of 3.
And they've had international experience. It was, you know, probably mid-year where we finally started to see NIP repeat international events after what felt like, I think they had like a solid year break from making international events. That's now finally come to a close and now becoming regulars again.
That's what happens sometimes when you're in Brazil, you get gate kept.
Yeah.
So that's probably made them extremely hungry to convert these opportunities when they attend overseas events.
Need a response from Heretics though, I think earlier. Oh, there it is, Grumpy. Hello, well, he heard me. He did indeed hear me. Needed that response early in a round. Get yourself on the front foot. Fantasy does win the battle over towards main stairs, but Oscar got quickly back into the fight. Hate's then there too, and it's now down to a 3v3. Scrappy start to the third round. Cons with the Vendetta up.
Changing back.
But there is actually two players, Archives and Tellers right now for Heretics. You pull a headshot onto Cons. Advantage Heretics.
Straight dueling here in the third round. And it's Heretics now with a narrow advantage. They lose the clash, but 3-2 up. Still a favorable position for them. Some denial utility as well. Skeptic 2 smokes. I think they'll be feeling rather comfortable now that the tempo and the pacing has slowed down, and NIP find themselves trying to reset here. We'll be looking for some information. Hates and Wizard will be looking to connect. Defuse are retrieved.
No Grimbees for the Guan Hive launchers, not ideal. So, I mean, kind of lacking a little bit of utility in the 2 versus 3. And on the flip side, you've still got Nitro, Impact, Gas Bay. Like, Heretics are pretty well set up heading into this final 50 seconds of the round. Like, they're going to make sure that they consolidate. Don't throw this from here. Half an open area of the site. There is going to be that one and final gas bay from Skeptic thrown out to just prevent an early drop, but Wizard goes anyway. He drops on in. Grubby with the Razor Bloom kill onto Hades. Left poor old Wizard on an island of which he cannot escape from. Heretics on the board.
Yeah, that's the strength of the Thorn on full display. I feel like when we were casting back on day one, it was pretty limited on impact, but it's scenarios like that where, especially in the clutch, sometimes it could be the background of your mind, or perhaps you don't really have the opportunity to actually change your aim and even shoot the device. So,
well, if it's not finding kills or doing a large amount of damage, it's still displacing.
It's a distraction.
It's a distraction. It's still displacing. It's still utility that needs to be kind of found, thought of.
Information, because it makes sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty powerful.
We've seen a decent amount of Thorn usage so far.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually kind of want to throw this to you so that I can go and find how often we've seen Thorn in terms of pick rate. Because I think prior to this event, it was in that bargain bin towards the bottom, like 1% pick rate.
Yeah, strong primary as well. And Groovy opened up the account for Heretics with a really sharp shot onto that lobby rappel. Several engagements top main. And the TDM kind of followed on throughout that round.
That's not mine going out.
There's some good resistance from Heretics on offer there in the third round. 2-1 the scoreline as we enter the second rotation. Sense and Goyo to take no further part in this half.
So I've got the data from the first 2 days at Six Invitational. What do you think the pick rate is?
You can ask me to guess.
Let's have some fun.
Pick rate would be 25%?
No, it's 12.4%.
Oh, okay, 25.
To give context, by the way, like the top picked operators are around that 30% mark.
Reload.
Okay.
The most picked is Smoke at 42%, Ace 37, and then drops to Azami 34. That's the top 3. Smoke is very highly picked.
What about presence though? Is Azami now high as presence? Because she would be getting banned rather frequently.
Azami's, it's the same presence for top 3.
Right.
Smoke, Ace, Azami.
Cool. Well, Twitch in play for the 4th round, and we're going to see the Shock Drone get to work over towards Garage. Brava also in play, so Clutch Drone's available as well. NIP will be looking to take their time in this round and try to disrupt as much utility as possible. It's actually a double stack outside Garage, but the BPC here from Heretics can feed information in return and maybe just challenge this a little bit. NIP may not be comfortable to commit, but Collins does go deep. This is a gamble from NIP, a calculated one at that though, and if they can at least post the player up here, deep in Garage, cuts in through sight. Fight elsewhere though, and a 4 versus 4. NIP are taking good ground though.
And they do lose the Smoke early in the round on a pivotal site. Heretics, though, at the very least, this is how they probably needed to play it, adjusting on lock and CCTV, rather than going for full 5-man bunker. Not that there's a lot wrong with that, it's a valid strategy. NIP, though, good map control, still a decent amount of time in the round. Double Nitro available for Heretics on the defense, so they do still have decent denial when it does come to that plant going down. It is, though, 4 in basement, so no one kind of lurking that first floor and trying to take some control.
This is a commanding position.
Fantasy, this is also very aggressive, the way he's just kind of standing out there in garage. Wizard has taken some damage in server, by the way. He's the only one over there right now for NIP. Getting some help from Cons, who's going to make his way through sewer. So there is a decent split away from Fantasy. 3 stack now, NIP coming through server. They're going to go default plant. They're going to then leave Fantasy to watch the cross garage. Nitrocell thrown, no effect. Grubby does find the kill onto Cons. Cons goes down. Grubby then comes through from blue. Pino then forced to push forward. He knows, though, that Grubby is in blue stairs, so he has to take this fight. There is still 30 seconds. Flash, win, he does. 2v2, you've still got Fantasy that can make this push out of garage. Flexy's ready, though. Inside a CCTV, deals with Pino. Fantasy in the 1 versus 2, but hasn't spotted out where Oscar is located. Now he does take it down to 1 HP, and this should be a Heretics round, barring a catastrophe. Oscar just falls back. Allows then for Fantasy to push forward, makes it even easier. Really well played from Heretics, and a really solid flank from Grubby.
Yeah, Grubby, the difference maker in that round with the setup that NIP had on offer, especially Fantasy towards garage. It split that defense. It isolated those players in towards site. It would have made default denial very, very challenging. So a successful flank to disrupt that was absolutely perfect, and NIP lacking a read on that play over towards blue. Pino tried his best to recover the round, and it was a delayed trade, but Flex in the meantime, he was able to push forward and hit a beautiful wall bang. Fantasy, no HP, no diffuser, no chance to win that one out. The scores are drawn 2 apiece.
Yeah, good response from Heretics, because really for NIP, out of the gates in the first 2 rounds, especially taking blocker CCTV in a flawless fashion, so looking quite dominant. They then go take top floor. Yes, a little bit messy, but they were the ones looking to really engage on that execute. Top floor we go once again.
10 seconds insertion.
Loading new magazine.
And the longer this goes on for Heretics, the more confidence they'll build within themselves that, hey, we could maybe knock these guys off. And if that does happen, NIP are at very high risk of potentially getting grouped, which would be a disaster. Long way to go, best of 3. It's something to consider. When you're a team that comes to Six Invitational with little to no expectations, you get to just do what you want. You get to just have some fun. There's no pressure.
Yeah. So the Blitz re-enters the discussion here for NIP as we head back to the top floor objective for Heretics. Some emphasis on execute utility, but with the sense banned out, that does compromise things a little bit. So I like that target ban from Heretics, an emphasis on this top 4. Really looking to make NIP work for that eventual site control, and it may change up their initial early round plans as well. They've been able to garner some really good information in towards the site itself. Good drone work from those on the back line from NIP with a really solid read now in towards this defensive hold. Maestro in play to note as well here, of course buffed prior to this event. And so Skeptic will be looking to garner information where possible.
Ooh, Grubby finds the opening kill. They're starting to turn that metric around a little bit. 2 of the last 3 rounds now for Heretics. U-Ball backs up, gets rid of Wizard. There goes the Candelas. No Ying now remaining. The rush for NIP has faltered much earlier this time in the round. I'll get those balls to Fantasy, but good catch from Flexy. Over towards Archives. From below finds the kill. They lose the Maestro. Now becomes a 2v2. Again, scrappy on this top floor.
This is a strange fight now with Flexy isolated down below. Fantasy rather trying to help Hates, but Flexy's dealt with.
Down to Grubby, over towards site, where both Fantasy and Hates are first floor. They'll make their way back up. The kit, by the way, is in sight. So Grubby hasn't really got a lot of maneuvering in terms of how he's going to position. He'll pretty much just have to play around site. Currently inside a long desk.
Oh, good drone.
Good drone, good information. There's the kit, 48 seconds, 1v2. What can Grubby do from here? Needs to be able to isolate the first. There's the run across. He'll know the other. May look to play behind the door. Grubby, does he go for the swing? There is a shield being used by Fantasy. Hates inside a janitor now. Grubby needs to reposition, reload.
Done well to stay alive here. 30 seconds, but he gets shot through the couch. NIP take the round.
Yeah, common spot and a very easy spray down. Decent game sense, and NIP take top floor once again, despite the opening kill from Grubby being in the 1v2 position. And I think largely throughout that round, it kind of felt like maybe Heretics were slightly advantageous. But NIP were able to turn it around, and they take the lead once again. They go 3-2 up, final round of the half coming.
Yeah, it took a little while for the cogs to start turning on the presence that they had on first floor. They had big investment on the buck, and they were able to finally get some value, but the information gathering on the side itself, the Maestro specifically there for the defense, posed quite a few problems. Despite that, though, able to get the round across the line, and with that, a small lead heading into the final of half. Open area as expected. Can Heretics bite back? Kaid to be hidden here in the preparation phase. NIP not wanting to give that info away.
It's been a pretty even spread performance from the 10 players as well. You know, there's no one really lagging behind. Hate 7-2. He leads all comers in terms of the fragging department. But it's been a pretty decent match thus far. We'll see if it continues that way. NIP definitely with the deserved lead ever so slightly. One thing that Heretics have done a little bit better of in the last few rounds, though, is playing a bit more aggressive on the defense earlier in the rounds. Trying to put NIP a little bit more at risk when they enter positions deeper within the building. I think that might have been a misdrone, by the way, into Flexi. Flexi kept himself hidden. And never mind, comes back, does get rid of the drone, knows they're on the rappel, and then Flexi caught. Lovely wall bang from Fantasy.
Yeah. Well, he was committed at that point. Too high risk to run back across the rappel. And a great shutdown there from NIP.
That is a quick reaction off of just the drone information. NIP get the opening kill once again, so that'll be 4 from the 6 rounds in their favor, indicating a very strong attacking half. We'll see if they can make it 4 rounds in total for their attacking half as well. So far, so good. Just limits now the possibility for Heretics to sort of re-aggress. Oscar over towards Stock, I say that, and he might just go for it. On the roof, did not see him. Oscar,
Got eyes on
that's an error, that's a mistake, and Fantasy will punish. If you're gonna crack that barricade, you're gonna stand there, you're gonna search for information, you don't find anything initially, you are now vulnerable. You are now known, you have to then maybe fall back. He opted to stay too long, got punished, and the round falls apart for Heretics.
That's maybe the kind of play that you would get away with against a lesser opponent, where maybe you do hang around and still pluck a kill. I can understand why. You're desperate to make a play, you're a player down. It's now flipped very, very quickly towards a almost unlosable round for NIP. A 5 versus 2 minute on the clock.
60 seconds remaining. It's the one saving grace potentially, especially if Grubby can win this battle towards Lone. He does. Good clear onto Pino. This is where you've just got to try and bring this clock down. 2 versus 4, far more manageable when there's little time remaining in the round. Yes, he will cancel the death mark, and in a great position. Knows they're offside, now knows they need to make their way back in. Now spotted Upor, but that is information for Hates over towards Printer. Upor's in a very open position. From above, gone. Oh! Upor, flick headshot, turn around through the hatch, and the round now becomes alive. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, but Fantasy puts a bullet through the eye of Upor, now down to just Grubby in the 1v2, and the Vendetta is lethal from below. Twists and turns within that round to close the half. Upor giving Heretics a sign of life from a 2v5 to a 2v2, but ultimately falling short as NIP close the half out with the 4-2 lead.
There's not too many worse feelings as a vert player when you get duped on the angle like that. And it could well have had, you know, pretty significant consequences in that round. But Fantasy with a really clean shot to finally hit that delayed trade. And a clean up from there. 4-2 the scoreline at the half. Heretics keeping it competitive. I mean, let's not get it twisted. They are the LCQ qualifier playing on NIP's map pick. This has been a respectable performance so far, and they're still in a position to remain competitive here on the opening map.
Coming into this series as well, the 6 key categories that I keep track of: attack win rate, defense win rate, opening kills, and it's therefore conversion, multi-kills, and plants. Across those 6 categories, there's only one category that NIP actually had better statistics than against Heretics, which was multi-kills, but the asterisk of that was they've also played an extra series. So even that statistic isn't great for NIP, and it really sort of highlights how good Heretics played against FearX statistically, and for NIP, they've been quite poor. They've played 2 series, and this is across all teams at Six Invitational. 13th for attack, 14th for defense, 12th for opening kills, 15th for conversion on those opening kills, and 15th for plants. So the only strong stat was actually multi-kills
10
first,
seconds to go.
but taking into account some teams have had their bye, you put an asterisk a
5
little bit to
seconds
that. So yeah, that's why coming into today, this was an opportunity for NIP to
Attackers
kind
must
of
locate
get
and defuse
their
the
SI
bomb.
going.
7,000
10
francs.
kills now for Fantasy going into the second half. They've certainly had the edge, certainly been slightly the better team. But you just get that feeling that Heretics are in this match.
They have a bit of magic about them. Probably falling short on
Magic of the cup.
falling short in some of the 1%ers so far, but as I kind of framed it before, respectable so far. Work lobby. Basement for the opening round. Mirror, Echo, Monty, Ace, the bans for this half.
And Hates walls on cams there for a second, but Oscar's never really going to push forward without a lot of information. Might not know, is there someone main stairs? Is there someone beepers? So you can't just go wandering towards elevators. A little bit of a standoff. Hates watching the drone hole. Oscar still has not moved from what I can see on the top down. A lot of drone work now from Heretics to begin this second half. And it has now been a drop confirmed by Hates. Leaves elevators and all 5 members of NIP down below. I say 5 with a slight hesitation. Pino is playing blue stairs on the Warden.
Yeah, intriguing. They bring the Warden as opposed to the smoke. Will that compromise them maybe for late round denial? That being said, Chenka, Goyo available.
The benefit of the Warden on the blue stairs, though, is it's a lot harder to flash dump.
The
and
util dump
swing.
is more of a challenge, 100%.
Can opt to fall back. Now, Fantasy is playing inside a server as well, so this is aggressive server hold defense from NIP, which leads me to believe at some point they might want to bring Pino back to site on the Warden rather than committing to a full blue stairs hold. Good angle found from you, Paul. They lose the Azami, and that now kind of weakens the position of Pino because Hatch is open, no longer has the Azami holding behind him, and there's 60 seconds remaining in the round.
Lights on.
Strong drone work.
Can't see
Get the open kill, but clearing this Warden.
Tracker on the prowl.
Will this be to the detriment of Heretics?
Might have to push off that nade, instead has to fall back. Pino getting aggressed upon. Nice work from you, Paul. Swing around the corner with the Vendetta is clean and precise. Gives the advantage now for Heretics. If they can take Locker's CCTV, do to NIP what they did to them, it's a way to really get off to a good start in this second half. 2-player advantage, 30 seconds. Don't overthink this, don't overcook it. You've got plenty of time here for the execute.
RU utility to facilitate the drop. Con's still close. Can he be a difference maker for NIP? 20 on the clock.
There's a Vulcan canister in the pocket of Wizard as well. Such important utility on this site. Cons does get one through the RAU screen. It was Oscar. Uport picks up the kick. He will go for the plant. No one there to deny. Another spray through the screen. Wizard so close, but it doesn't connect. Hates then shut down. Flexi gets the double, and it is indeed Heretics that find the attacking answer on Locker's CCTV, matching what NIP did in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. Played out in a very different fashion, but the end result the same. Good start from Heretics. Being able to break down a lot of those defensive elements before the execute. Great drone onto Fantasy.
Great positioning from Upor as well. Knowing that Fantasy's playing an aggressive hatch position, I can probably...
high ground. Yeah, that's perfect. Able to flood from there. Kept it pretty standard, and always a big confidence boost to win that opening round. Basement on bank. It's got to be a good feeling.
It's starting to really go back and forth between these two teams, which The longer that goes on, it stays close, it's back and forth. That puts just more doubt and pressure onto NIP.
Yeah, that favors Heretics.
They're not facing elimination off a loss here, but you do lose here, and your next game is literally must win. Like, that's the kind of pressure that it puts on them. And for Heretics, of course, you win this series, you're locked into playoffs, you can't get grouped. That's already a
Big
successful
win.
tournament.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, the fact that they are quite literally even at this event is special in itself, and I think one of the great elements of the Six Invitational, the ability for teams of this nature to qualify for the event. And to now be in a position where they're looking quite competitive against quite a strong roster is impressive to watch.
CEO executive for the 8th round. Will there be a response from NIP once again? They do still have 2 rounds prior to that win there from Heretics, so
Drone is ready to go.
before scoreline is amped. NIP has still been the better team, but Heretics just, you got that feeling they're starting to really bring the pressure.
Can I get a pick rate check on Osa for this event? Because it looks like Heretics will shape up for a bit more of an old school approach here. Top square, right side. Use those talent shields for plant coverage. It's not, of course, super common nowadays, as it was perhaps a couple of years ago.
0.5%.
How many rounds is that? What, one?
2 rounds picked out of 372.
Oh yeah. What's the win rate?
That's one more than Jackal.
What's the win rate?
The win rate's 0.
So this might be the first round at SI where we see the Osa win out.
If Heretics can win it, they will do what no other team has done so far at this Invitational. Oscar, they're low on health, not ideal on the Grim. Time is okay. I think you're always better off hitting this site, though, when you've got at least 30, 40 seconds under your belt, where it can get quite messy.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit of a grind, especially if the talent shield gets destroyed or other things go astray. It just gives you that pocket of time and space to reset.
Janitor flamed out. U-Pause just outside stock now. Fantasy gets the kill on Skeptic. There goes the Osa.
I think it might be 0-3.
It might be 0-3. Still a long way to go in this round. They need to put some pressure elsewhere. There's no pressure on the backside of this site now from Heretics. Nothing pushing through stock, trying to clear out Janitor hallway. Wizards just sitting out there in the open. Flexi's now jumped out there as well. So with 50 seconds left, they've actually just started to kind of rotate around and change things up.
Well, they've had this read on cons for a while, but converting that into a kill proving to be a challenge. 45.
It's a square side hit. They've still got the extra thermics from Flexi, but that means they've got to get and win the battle against Wizard.
Guys, convert. There we go. 4-4.
Finally goes down, but there's 30 seconds remaining. This is what I was saying before. You want to have the time in the back pocket. They do win the battle, though, against Wizard. That's crucial. That puts way less pressure now towards Square. Fantasy, long angle. Oh, and he got the second onto Oscar.
3?
Who went for the shoulder peek when he was low on health. Make it 3, make it 4 in the round. Flexi's the only one left as NIP's defense holds strong on the top floor. The last second rotate from Heretics has not come to fruition. Pino finds the final kill, and NIP get themselves a 5th round.
Yeah, it started to look maybe a little bit more hopeful with good time in the stock hall clear, but you rewind in the round, and by losing the Osa, it throws the entire plan into disarray, and you need a lot to go your way, especially on the fights deep. Over towards the likes of Banana and front desk, and as we quite clearly saw, it went astray. Unfortunate start here for Skeptic. Just gets caught with a slight misstep.
This is too easy for Fantasy, though.
Just lines him up DMR. That's now 14 kills, by the way, here on Bank, 8 in.
And not just that as well. Xenox fun fact of the day already, going super early here on the A stream, but of every single round that NIP have won, only a single one of those rounds has not had a multi-kill from an NIP member.
Yeah.
So a 3K from Cons, a 3K from Hate, a 4K from Fantasy, and a 4K from Fantasy, hence why he's 14-4. So it again goes to show that maybe that statistic I mentioned before, where they're first for multi-kills and will probably remain so after this battle, is not a fluke by any means. They can be very, very strong with different individuals capable of finding multiple frags in a round. That gives you good firepower. And on the flip side for Heretics, just a single round throughout the 8 rounds played where they've had a multi-kill. That was from Upor with a 3K back in round 7. This is the test now, though, for Heretics. got to win this round. Got to keep that scoreboard close. The Ossa didn't work out, so that goes 0-3, and Skeptic gets back on the Blackbeard.
NIP electing to go open area here for the 9th round. They seek this map point.
Ooh. Oh, I think Fantasy just got a little bit blood-headed. He just rushed it, and then Grubby just overswings and goes straight through the window, and Cons gets a free kill.
To be fair, he almost got it. I think it was a next shot.
Goes down to Wizard as well, over towards Staff. Hates then collects the pick over towards open area, and they all fall apart. Heretics just get demolished. Wow.
That was a round of
That
siege.
was so fast, so quick from NIP, and they take a 3-round lead here on the opening map of Bank. Their map pick for a reason. They beat M80 on it yesterday, 7-3. And they're looking strong to do so once again, 7-3 in their sights.
And the unfortunate nature of where we are in the game now, the storyline quite quickly pivots from Heretics looking competitive to a likely 7-4. We are going back down to basement, and sure, they won it out on their first attack, don't get that wrong, but statistically, basement Bank is typically very difficult to attack into.
Now that is, though, to be fair, coming from our APAC region.
Sure.
Where maybe the attacking prowess isn't always, let's say, up to par.
Sometimes.
I mean, Bank has actually been played 4 times, so there's a decent amount of information from it. So Lockers and CCTV, so far at Six Invitational, has had a 53% defensive win rate, which is the highest sight on Bank, defensive win rate-wise. But Bank as a map, guys, is the 2nd best attacker-sided map.
What's number 1?
Lead.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Outside of, yes, the top floor.
Yeah.
It just makes a bit of sense there. Top floor, 52%, and then Lad
10
Bunks
seconds remaining.
is attacker-sided. So actually kind of similar to Bank in that sense, except it's the basement side
5
that's
seconds left
far more
before
difficult. Looking at actually a lot of the numbers, I feel like the maps are in a pretty good position. Cafe, by far the most defender-sided.
Oh, we haven't had to pass Cafe yet. So
The only one, actually, that's above the 60% threshold, because it's at 60% on the dot. Either way, into this match point round, NIP with 3 opportunities to close out Bank, and probably seems the more likely outcome, I think, at this point. Fantasy is just popping off. He's been exceptional. 2 4K rounds, 14 and 5. When you have a difference maker like that, it's really hard to overcome for a team like Heretics, who have only won 1 of the last 5 rounds now.
Smoke and Capital banned out, so a heavy emphasis on this objective with the additional bans introduced by both teams. Oscar again will lurk through lobby. He's done this on multiple occasions.
Yeah, mixed success. Hasn't really been able to find a lot because it's to the credit of NIP defensively. They don't go roaming around.
They haven't
in the
walked
night.
into his line
Yeah, they haven't,
too freely.
not once. But he's a slightly deeper position this time, watching through beepers.
Oh!
Hates finds the opening pick on a Grubby. Oscar, I think he's starting to get the idea. I might need to push forward here and play this low position more aggressively.
Oh, he's going to get caught.
And he's going to get completely caught. But he don't. He does get one, at least over towards main stairs. He takes out Wizard, but did get traded. And in the end, like the previous round, NIP just make quick work of Heretics. It is indeed 7-3 on Bank. They take their map. For NIP, a really big start to today. They needed to get off to a good start against the LCQ email team. They do so on their map pick. They back up what they did against M80 on Bank, and now have got themselves into a position where 1 more map win, and they're right back into a good position in the group stage.
A 2-2 start. Heretics looked very competitive in the opening phase, but NIP hit that gas pedal and send us to map 2 with the lead in this series.
Just like Vin Diesel, NIP make that fast and furious. They looked so damn good in the back end of that matchup. You didn't mind that one?
Diesel.
Family.
Right.
Hey. Anyway, looking at this one, Fox, a very impressive game from NIP, all things considered.
It was very impressive. I mean, we talked about how Heretics was unable to find the trade game, and I think NIP took advantage of that. Multi-kill after multi-kill, constantly being able to gap in the lead that they're able to get. Once they got one kill, it just kept going.
Yeah, and we have to highlight Fantasy yet again. I mean, he is constantly a walking highlight reel for this NIP roster. We've already touched up on him early on of how imperative he is for this roster. He's a big proponent for a lot of their success. Constant multi-frag from him that he's really able to just pull out of nowhere. But again, he needs to keep this up because this is really what puts NIP into winning positions. But I also want to give quick credit to Khans and his play. Using the shield one round and then rotating off. But again, Fantasy by far was the biggest MVP and the big turnout for NIP closing it out here.
Yeah, we're signing positives off for NIP, but do we look to Team Heretics and ask the question, was it good enough?
No, it wasn't good enough. I mean, we talked about it in the pre-desk when it came down to their trades. It was very abysmal. That was the biggest downfall for Heretics. They struggled in the trade department, opening trade department, and that's exactly what we saw in this matchup. No trades from Heretics when it came to that opening kill, that first kill. So not only were they not converting, or they weren't able to bring back the advantage if they were losing. So unfortunately for Heretics, that's the exact same thing that we saw. And it answers the question, will they let the pressure get to them? Will they let it stump them? And I think that's what we're seeing.
I think that's the inexperience speaking as well.
Yeah, I agree. The nerves is what getting to them.
This is the problem now, because in this context, right, Team Heretics are realistically, they're 2 maps away. I understand that. But you guys said before we started this, it had to be a 2-0 for Team Heretics.
Sure did.
Are you concerned, Lax?
I'm definitely concerned just because of what we're seeing from NIP. I think based off the 2 games that they played, we really saw a difference in how NIP was approaching their style. In some of those rounds, they were letting Heretics play aggressive. They were letting Heretics play into their line of sights, and they were shutting them down, which is why we weren't seeing those trades happen. And then we talk about the pressure. You are 1 game away from losing your spot. Well, not losing the spot essentially, but losing the opportunity to instantly qualify for playoffs. So again, that pressure is there. And when you're making these rookie mistakes, not being able to play the trade games, it's really going to be hard to get that going. Someone has to have a pop-off round to get behind going into Chalet.
And that was the map that would favor Heretics' playstyle, being able to be objective focused, getting the plant down, denial. But we saw it on the Heretics attacks. They could not be able to stop bleeding kills. Yeah. You go to a map like Chalet, that's not something where you're going to be able to have the comfort of being able to play back, play behind utility. You have to get up into NIP's face. And right now, everyone in NIP, specifically Fantasy, are shooting. So it really comes down to the trades that Heretics needs to look to. And unfortunately, I just think it's a little bit too late of a situation for them to find themselves.
Unfortunately, it might be. A fire has been lit underneath NIP. It's time for us to get underway with map 2.
Thanks, Vin Diesel. That's some wonderful desk work from you. I mean, honestly, if he shaves the beard off, he's honestly halfway there. But one thing to note as we go into Chalet, this is a map that was played and won by Heretics in the last chance qualifiers. They had a 1-0 record against Twisted Mind, so a pretty quality opponent. I think they'll be feeling a lot more comfortable on Chalet, but again, we've got a new team. You haven't really got the depth of that map pool really known to its full extent. NIP were great on bank, as they were yesterday as well against M80. Heavy favorites in this second map as we get underway with the second map of the series. Well, NIP, 1 map away from being able to collect all the points from this one. If they can get a 2-0 fashion, will do them a world of good here in the group stage. Sets them up nicely. They've still got a break day. They've still got a bye as well coming up. So that'll be a good opportunity to reset. We'll see if Heretics can bounce back. They will begin on the attacking side of Chalet. And again, looking at the map statistics, Chalet is the most even map so far at Six Invitational. It's been played 6 times as well, which was equal first, and it's pretty much dead set 50%.
Cool. That is, yeah, an intriguing statistic. I suppose Chalet probably enters the realm of the map that you would kind of expect to be pretty even under most circumstances. But yeah, let's jump in. Heretics will start out on attack. So the onus on them to heavily contest this map entry and meet fire with fire. We saw that back on Bank, and the boys were talking about it. The trade game was lacking. NIP were contesting on the fringe, and they're making it very difficult for Heretics to play make inside of the map. And I don't really anticipate that storyline to change all too much here on Chalet. In fact, it may even be further emphasized given the nature of the map, a little bit more compact. And NIP will be looking to carry momentum forward from the previous map. The operator bands have played out. Azami, Castle, Deimos, and Ying out of play.
Looking at some of the numbers for Heretics, mainly from their first matchup against FearX, you know, they weren't the greatest when it came to their attacking win rate, 46%, so
10 seconds to
that's put them kind of around 11th. Where their strength actually was in that series was their defense.
5 seconds left.
71% defensive win rate against FearX. So, and also opening kills. So they were winning opening kills and they were strong defensively. And I think that's a good hallmark of a winning recipe. If you can get early picks, strong defensively, and get plants down on the attack, which they had a 40% plant rate. Only got the 1 plant back on Bank. It usually sets you up to win. But it's going to be his first half that's quite telling. Cannot allow NIP to get out to a strong lead, fuel that confidence even further after winning the opening map on Bank. Good twitch work here from Uport. Was able to shatter the mirror window.
Not sure if Fantasy's position is known. Oh, it does get forced out. It does get caught on the cross by Oscar. So an opportunity, a narrow one at that, does go astray early in the play for Heretics, who have subsequently taken some decent control with at least their drones are gaining information, garnering that. Bonds with a captured drone. Spots the solar repel in play from Skeptic. Reconfirms that position. Not really a lot they could do off it, though.
Yeah, nice opening pick for Flexi. That's exactly what Heretics are going to need in this first half. Find the opening kills, get the early advantage, stretch that defensive NIP where you no longer have the numbers to cover all of the positions. And this is really good as well in this round for Oscar on the glass, so he can kind of maybe get into a stronger position. Probably wants to play the repel, but could also go something like Solar side. Logic Bomb activated by Grubby, still has one more available. Heretics clearly taking their time, though.
It's a rather split attack.
It's also a very stretched defense from NIP. This is bedroom and office, and they got multiple players over towards library side. Pino got one back, traded though by Upor, so the numbers are there for Heretics. Now they've got a clear advantage. By the way, Hates is still over towards library. So Fantasy by himself over towards Piano, and he does catch out Upor. I imagine off guard. I don't think that they would have been aware of the fact there's still one over towards library. Then the trades come back. Skeptic gets the big one, though. Little dicey towards the end of the round, but Heretics get the job done. The opening kill really set up that round from there. They were able to follow on. Really clean work from Heretics.
Yeah, a very fluid round from both teams, lacking probably the more traditional structure that you would expect to see, such as like a full commit library across or front mez. It was a little bit more all over the place, as you alluded to as well. Defense stretched thin, NIP constantly trying to rotate. On a map like Chalet, if you're patient enough, and we saw Oscar here, a good example, you can often find those kills simply because the defense is forced to continuously rotate. Flexi with some good work as well, but the Heretics, they fire up nicely in the opening round. Let's go! Grubby was very content.
Grubby's very fired up.
He entered the day with a 125 EPS, one of the top players at the event. Of course, just the one
12?
match.
Yeah, 12.
He was plus 10 in the KD department. Was a little bit quieter in comparison to that metric back on map 1, but certainly a highly skilled player that if he can tap into that here on Chalet could be a difference maker.
Yeah, I remember we had the opportunity to actually talk to him back at Reload when he was on Fnatic.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
And unfortunately for him, I think his time at Fnatic didn't quite go the way he would have liked, but you could probably make the case for a lot of members who have been on Fnatic over the years.
Yeah.
Stay close to me.
Flexi on the Monty.
The drone is ready to go.
No clash in response for NIP. Flexi can get some good groundwork here. Bar games, though, does mean in terms of map control, you should be able to get it pretty comfortably, unless usually the defense offers a bit of an extension, which there isn't really much of an extension. But what there is, Hades on a lurk roam up West Main. But he'll be the point of difference to watch in this round now for NIP on the defense.
You can worry less about grenades now. I'll set to blow it up.
Ooh, it's Pino, though, to find the open kill. A clean shot inside of this box position to start disrupting this top floor clear. In the meantime, though, Flexi has pushed forward, so lobby pressure into Mez, keeping Fantasy on his toes.
Skeptic, the one that is top library on the balcony. There's that run out from Hayes, as mentioned before, out of West Main, finds the free kill onto Grubby. Good active defense from NIP in this round. Now, Flexi wants to create this pressure, but he needs someone to come in from the library side to get the pinch. And unfortunately, he's just going to have to go pretty much play by himself. Pistol out. Skeptic finally comes into library. Pino was watching it, though. Help from Wizard. So as soon as Skeptic got into library, instantly dead. NIP on the verge of flawless. Oscar does not have the kit. By himself in bar. Position is known. Can't even hit the shots there onto Fantasy. Cons gets the free kill. Flawless from NIP. Really strong active defense. Had good pieces in good positions. Hates on the lurk West Main. He got his free kill onto Grubby. They found the opening kill onto the Grim, and then from there it's a 5v3 and it kind of falls apart. And the Monty's forced to then play solo Monty with the pistol out, rather than what he was doing, which was in a good position, up play stairs, put the pressure onto the mezzanine, get pressure then coming in from library side, and try and take top floor. He can't really get that. He hasn't got the bodies to help him. Yeah,
there's very few contingencies with a set play like that. If the Monty isn't enabled, you have
by attackers.
Almost no fallback option, right? The Monty needs to be the star of the show in terms of gathering that information, and then you need the follow-up elsewhere. Pino got the open kill, starting to disrupt that, and left very few avenues back into the round for Heretics. So they'll be brushing that one aside as we head over to Dining for round number 3. The Pulse, interestingly, to be introduced on this occasion from defense. An operator that I probably anticipated to maybe see the pick rate rise a little bit, especially with the UMP buff heading into this event, although he has elected to go shotgun for this particular selection. A couple of different options available. You can like basement, late if required for first floor info. Play first floor itself to help aid in information gathering for the top floor clear if Heretics elected to go for that as well. As for the attack, plenty of info gathering tools available for them as well, and none better really than the Clutch drones here from Oscar. Good counter onto the BPCs of this defense. Combine that with Skeptic on the Flores, and it actually does a pretty good job in shredding quite a bit of this prep utility as well, also on offer from NIP.
Expecting Hates to have another impact in this round because he's playing the Pulse. He'll get the information. He could be the one over towards Kitchen to maybe try and take one of these horizontal fights. Just the way he's setting up to deny that lobby push. And Flexi's the one that is outside and needs to be careful if he does make his way in. And flashbang dump to get rid of some of these Wamai discs. Decent spread right now for NIP. Kitchen dining site, you've got members up above, you've got Hates down below in Kitchen who can get some good information with the cardiac sensor. Speaking of intel, Uport finding some with the shock drone. Gets rid of one of Denari's tripwire connectors. Hates did actually take some contact, by the way, over towards Kitchen Gussie. He's now low, which does mean he can't quite get as aggressive anymore on the Pulse, and Logic Bomb activated from Grubby.
How late into the round will this 5 versus 5 persist? Standoff at the moment as we encroach on the 60-second mark. Information plenty here for Heretics, especially in towards Kitchen.
That's a great drone. Good intel for Heretics.
Flexi, can he find the kill?
He knows he's there. He wants the reconfirmation Kuan Hive Launcher, but that now means even if it does connect, the defender now knows he is spotted. Oh, Logic Bomb pushed straight in, shot into the back of Hates. So slight control there, but the one caveat to all of this is Heretics don't have any top floor control. Good clear over towards West Main. Fantasy dies at the stairs, and they go for the plant inside of Dining. So where's the pressure from NIP up above? Pino searches but can no longer find, and the plant goes down successfully.
Really good selection of plant position there, and the retake from NIP looks incredibly challenging.
Cons looks like he doesn't know where he wants to run, where they are. Upor finds the kill on Topino. NIP look a little bit lost. Cons finally, I think, spotted him through the floorboard. Skeptic at West Main Stairs can just fall back, play basement. Wizards down, the round is done. Heretics find 2 straight in this attacking half. Well, not quite 2 straight, but 2 in general. Still, that's a really good start on Chalet. 2-1 lead. Good attacking rounds.
Yeah, that was a really nice attack. A good example of not overcomplicating things all too much. They had that really good info in towards kitchen, had lobby control. They had the appropriate operators to then facilitate that push through with a bit of disruption, bit of sound coverage, allowed that lock deep in towards kitchen. And once you get that first initial pick, it starts to throw the defense off. NIP attack.
Tá? E eu quero que a gente faça exatamente o que a gente tá falando, mano. Que a gente... Mano, aguenta a bronca vocês, mano. Vocês precisam aguentar a bronca, tá ligado? A gente vai se ajudando ali, obviamente, nas movimentações que a gente pode, mas a gente tem que aguentar mais a bronca, tá ligado? A gente tá se movimentando muito, por exemplo, no bomba da Switch, a gente se fudeu, tá ligado? Por causa disso. Os caras só beitando, jogando recursos, os caras tá com... Mano, perdendo todos os drones, tá ligado? O cara tá perdendo todos os drones, uma hora eles vão travar, tá ligado? Então acho que a gente sustentar mais um pouco a bronca, pegar umas comp que fique melhor pra gente ali, tá ligado? Beleza. Na cozinha, o que eu quero, mano? Quero uma Solis, mano. Seja o Condes ou seja o Pina. Pra gente ver esse plant de baixo, tá ligado? Já é a segunda vez já. Ou a gente dá um all-in nesse portal, tá ligado, velho? Tá, ali, velho. Tipo, o Reis passa pra fundo da janta, a gente garante ele pelo L, entendeu? Beleza. E a gente só deixa a cozinha com...
How's your português?
Not good.
Not good. Non-existent?
Not non-existent. Vamos.
Vamos. Well, NIP are going to need a Vamos out of the timeout. That might be kind of what was said a little bit. To be fair,
I feel that was just a really good attack.
I feel like it's a little bit of an early timeout, though, because it's only 2-1. And NIP's got a round on the board. They won bar games defensively. As you said, yeah, really good attack from Heretics. So it was less to do with what NIP were kind of doing. They didn't play bad, never.
I mean, the only thing you could maybe criticize from them a little bit in that round is kind of some flat-footedness. Didn't react to the lobby kit. Probably
maybe. I mean, they did get the opening pick, but...
Yeah.
And then I think, as you're probably mentioning, is like the push horizontally straight into dining. There wasn't really any cover from above, from office, like...
And then the plant and all. I mean, again, it's very difficult to find that angle, if not impossible.
It's a nitpick round, if you want to nitpick.
There must be maybe some more systematic problems that have led to that occurring, that maybe they are looking to adjust something in the communication department, potentially, or strategically.
Well, we go back to bedroom and office, which was won in the opening round by Heretics. So NIP, maybe that's also part of the discussion. Kind of a redo-over for NIP on the defense. Interestingly enough, haven't opted to go basement just yet and play a bit more of a roam game. Grubby swats one on the drone, knows that one's going to be dead. We spoke about it actually back on day one on the B stream, but I forgot to clarify regarding the drone counter, if that's actually been fixed or not. No?
Nah.
Don't know?
Nah, I was looking at it on bank. Unfortunately, it is still a little bit drunk.
What's expecting you to say that? Oscar up trophy stairs, and he did, I think, land. Oh, no. Pino actually took damage over towards Piano, so 2 separate fights happening at the same time. And then slips into office. Flexi on the glass. Smoke out. What can he find? Last time it was Oscar on the glass back in the opening round, so this time Flexi will take over the role. Flexi gets off the rappel, goes back over towards main entrance, and slow and steady the pacing here from Heretics. But again, for the second round running, they got themselves a decent drone, good information. This time onto Cons towards Piano.
Flashbang.
With the flash, but it's really just a bit of a fake flash. Oh, Flexi. Well, I mean, if you're Piano and you're swinging then into the smoke, you have to imagine the glass is on the other side. Flexi gets an easy kill from his perspective. Hate's losing the battle. Flexi with another one as well, and the push-in glass on the front lines is successful. He found another one. 3 from Flexi before falling. Leaves it down to Collins in the 1v2. You haven't seen too many clutches so far in this series from either team.
And he's pinned now between both attackers. With 40 seconds on the clock, Heretics find themselves in quite a strong position.
Cons to make the push, maybe the right play, has the ping information, got some damage into Grubby, knows that they're split, knows that he could isolate the 1v1s, but Upor wins his third round acquired for Team Heretics. And so far, a very successful attacking half on their map pick of Chalet.
Yeah, another really good flood in towards site. That timeout facilitated by the Glaz.
And out of the timeout for NIP.
I think it'd be quite intriguing, actually, to track over the course of this event what the attack timeout conversion actually is for each team.
Well, Sprabuni showed me a graphic yesterday from SI24, and I believe he said he's going to be doing it again for this SI. I think he did it for last SI as well. It's a really intriguing statistic, yeah. And showing the coach influence on the team.
And you only get one per map. They are very critical to get right. I know you can, of course, communicate during the operator ban phases, etc., but far more limited. Especially you're calling it so early as well. Not completely atypical, but
no, I think
you want to get impact from it.
Third round onwards.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds to go.
The third round onwards, I think it's fine. But on the third round is as early as you probably want to be going. And yeah, they ripped the cord. It didn't quite pay out. Great start from Flexi and Upor though. 13 kills combined for both of them inside 4-round play. Oscar's turning the Monty into a blitz with his entry through Kitchen Hallway. We've gone back to bar games, by the way. This was the only site that was successfully won by NIP. They will need to do so once again, or this half is really getting away from them. Pressure is on, and Heretics is doing this without Grubby having large influence.
Yeah. Flexi and Upor leading the way, 7 and 6 respectively. And the drone work from the others has been up to the task as well. It feels like they've had a very good read on NIP over the course of the last several rounds and converting that into a lot of mid-round pressure.
Well, like last time out on Bar Games, Hates played that lurk role. He was at West Main, got the run out, free kill onto Grubby. This time he sits blue down below. He's actually making his way up Black stairs. He can help out with it. He's watching from that first floor at the moment as the push from Heretics coming from top floor. Pretty standardized push. Gas Babe thrown out by Cons is denying Oscar the ability to continue to push forward. So time denial here by NIP in effect.
Grenade out.
Drone going out.
But it's Fantasy that falls early. The Thorn goes down. DMR from Pino, too strong up close. Gets rid of Skeptic. They lost Flexi. So one of the top gunners for Heretics now. No longer available. Grubby, can he find a kill? His first kill. Certainly will need him to do so in this round now. I do still have the Montang available, but Oscar's low on health. Oh, there you go. Pino went for an aggressive peek back through the doorway. He did not need to do that, and Grubby collects a freebie. 3v3 into the final minute.
Hates on a flank, so keep that in mind. Can Heretics flood site? 60 seconds on the clock. Do they have a read? Oh, the Razor Bloom.
Oh, the Razor Bloom catches Oscar, who was low on health. They do have the read. They do have the yellow pink information. Upor opening up that wall does then suggest to Hayes that his position is known. Upor, 1 bar stock. Can you get the peek out of Cons and get the free kill? No. Cons is disciplined. Hates is disciplined. NIP not making this easy for Upor. They're not running at him. They're holding their positions. And with 30 seconds remaining in the 1v3, this is how you want to play it if you're NIP. Very, very well played from NIP. No running around, no rushing at the final member, not giving him 1v1s and free opportunities. And just in pajamas find their second round. 1 more to go in the opening half.
Good way to close out the round.
That's the face of a man who got Razor Bloomed.
The Razor Bloom is actually a pretty significant impact over the course of that round as a whole. Heretics looked to be aggressive for the library stairs clear, but Pino was very aggressive, found a few, overstepped the mark and died, but unfortunately the rest of the team did falter. And Upor and his positioning and read was actually quite strong in the 1v3, and there was a bit of info available, but NIP did not give him an inch. With that, they take the round, now trailing by 1 for the final of the half. We go down to Kitchen.
Opting to avoid basement altogether for NIP, so not feeling comfortable on that side. Kitchen and Dining once
10
again.
seconds to go.
But the only site that NIP have found success on is Bar
5
Games.
seconds left before insertion.
So this is going to be the real test for them now. Last time out was in the 3rd round. And it's actually a pretty decently different lineup. So last time for NIP on Kitchen and Dining, they played the Pulse setup, the Frost setup, Wamai, Malusi. Denari, in fact, is the only operator that has followed through now into this lineup. So it's a big change up from NIP. And the clash is going to be very important against this blitz. Maybe even denying space away from the Glaz. Good trap utility with the Malusi along with the Fenrir. And the shock drone gets shot out.
Stun grenade.
Fantasy looking to push forward now, trapped by Oscar. Gets the first
Lovely
kill.
kill. Really played well from Fantasy. And he's going to lose his life there, but he knew for a while it's a case of, I've got to take 1-1.
One and done.
Yeah, one with me. But they lost other members elsewhere. When Fantasy did go down, they lost Wizard and Hates at the same time. And there goes Collins, caught by Grubby. Well, it's a clean way to end the half for Heretics. Certainly one of the more fast-paced rounds, and it is going to benefit. Pino's the only one left. He knows exactly where Oscar is, but he's trying to find the kit, and Oscar does have it. Pino create an opening. He's being the nuisance. Knows there's one on the rappel outside. That's Skeptic. Oscar to reposition and find a space inside of Dining that is safe and away from the eyes of Pino. And in the end, Flexi gets the kill. So it's a 4-2 half for Team Heretics here on Chalet. And well deserved. I mean, that was one of their better rounds overall in the series.
NIP, the one side Andy's, unfortunately for them in that opening half, and it could prove costly. Heretics, aside of that particular objective, able to make some nice moves. Their attacks look clean. 2-round lead now. Defense, though, will continue to pose challenges on a map that has proven to be very even for both attack and defense at this event thus far. The bans for the second half, Monty, Grim, Azami, Clash, so no edge cases there.
176 EPS now for Flexi. He goes 10-3 in that first half, but more importantly, 3-0 on entry. So he's not just getting frags, he's not getting mid-round frags, end of game. He's getting the opening picks. And obviously not in that round. But now 1.67 KPR. Really, really strong half from Flexi. Newport was strong as well, 6-4. No real standouts for NIP, but also no one really towards the bottom. In fact, the lowest 2 rated players in the server, guys, is Oscar and Skeptic for Heretics. So you're winning 4-2, and you've got the 2 lowest rated players in the game on your team.
Yeah.
Flexi and Newport putting the team on the back. See what NIP can now do on their attack as we go master bedroom and office. Defensively chosen by Heretics.
Certainly will not be anywhere close to panic stations for NIP here on Chalet just yet, but they'll be looking to set the tone here nicely on this opening attack. Good information gathering early on here from NIP. All 5 members of that defense available to Fantasy. Available to be deathmarked throughout the entirety of this round. And could prove useful in isolating this defense.
They saw the prep mod from Flex. Drone shot out by Newport. 2 nitrocells brought into the round for Heretics on bedroom office. Fantasy just toying around with his death mark and finally going to go for the selection onto the Valkyrie. U-Paul, entry into West Main. There is one on the stairs, though. That's Flexi. U-Paul then helps out. Good teamwork from Heretics to combine on that opening kill. They got nothing out of the Deimos. And then they lose Pino. You just get the sense that Heretics are in full control here on Chalet. Cons with a slow walk, but Flexi with the quick headshot. Now Hates will have a go as well, but he too falls into their trap. It's the combination between U-Paul and Flexi towards West Main that decimates NIP. They've won 4 of the last 5 rounds and are setting this series up to go the distance.
Yeah, they laid the trap and it snared successfully. Great start to the half for Heretics. Dictating the round nicely. And they have the individual skill to back up that playstyle. We've seen it on several occasions. We saw it back on Bank and here on Chalet as well. Fantasy missed that opportunity and it snowballed against them from there. Everywhere you turn, NIP losing fights, just losing duels.
That's a round that I'd love to see the desk highlight, break down the positioning there from U-Paul and Flexi, the way they're not over-peaking, overextending, the way they're playing off each other. And I would imagine, we don't get to hear it, but the team comms there between especially those two, I'm being pushed, not knowing when to swing. I think there's more to it in a round like that than what we just see on the surface level.
Yep.
It's not that easy. 9 kills for U-Paul, 11 for Flexi. Those two have been absolutely sensational here on Chalet. Now, the question is, can they get the job done? 5-2, it's a decent lead. You've got some breathing room. You're on defense to close out. You win the opening round of it. You won 4 of the last 5. You're on a bit of a heater. You go bar games, which we know is a strong side defensively too. Everything's set up here for you, Heretics. You've just got to cross that finish line.
Grubby.
And Grubby can try and see if he can get a little bit lucky. He does allow Hates up onto the roof. He gets himself out of mud.
Pressure building for NIP. Of course, there is a third map if required. Cafe in this instance. They would have been backing themselves in to win this 2-0.
If we do go Cafe as well, Heretics are a very good defensive team based on what we've seen so far at this event. So the most defender-sided map, that could be a map that is slightly favored towards them. If Heretics were to win that map as well as this, then NIP would be on 2 points with not a lot of opportunities left.
Heretics will be through to the second phase as well.
Yeah,
the group
exactly.
On its head.
Setting charge.
Minute 30, office control for NIP, looking to enclose over towards Mez. A fierce hold here from Heretics, stairs, box, Mez. They've got the triangle set up. Portable shield as well, so U2 layering strong here from Heretics. Flexi under immense amount of pressure, but he's got 11 kills so far. How many can he find in this round?
Well, they've done well so far, Heretics, where they haven't really just fully fallen back. They're looking to still play off these positions. So there's only a minute left. So NIP is slowly running out of time. Nicely done from Console towards Library. Flexi, quick turnaround, does get the kill. No one pushed forward over on the offer side. Fantasy got rid of Grubby. Good capture onto Flexi, though, through what was a very small gap. Oscar found 2 back. It is only Skeptic, though. Top Library stairs. There's the clear. Now to 1v1. He did push up, find the kill onto Pino. Wizards towards Mezzanine, into Library, grabs the kit and has 40 seconds to think his way through the remainder of this round. Skeptic does also have a Nitro Cell, so he's got options. He could go play Bar Stock, he could try and play off the Nitro, he slips into Bar. Wizard has a drone.
This drone absolutely critical. The defense does have a BPC stairs though, keep that in mind.
Spots the drone, Skeptic now knows he's been spotted. Positions over towards Bar Stock. And Wizard starts to now leave himself with little room for error. The margins are slim. With 13 seconds at this point to get the plan, he needs to go and find his kill. Headshot was almost there. Hides behind the reinforcement. Wizard looking for the reposition. Needs to push, find the kill. Skeptic gets the tag. Wizard is on 1 HP. He doesn't even push. He doesn't even push in the end. That one peak swing from Skeptic enough to scare him off. And he hits him with the ZZZs in chat as Heretics goes 6-2 up. 4 map points.
Really good round again there from Heretics. Their ability to play off one another and lean in to the trade game was massive. The desk highlighted that it's been a weakness for them. In that round, though, you wouldn't have known it. Really great work. Flexy's position was incredible. And then Oscar's
saves this round.
support was amazing. Great 2K. And then here late in there, Wizard getting caught in that Banshee. Unable to push forward. Regardless, was low. I doubt he wins that fight.
He wasn't low prior to the peak, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, true. Problem was, again, library stairs, there was a BPC. So information difference was huge there in the 1v1. Heretics were the likely...
He spotted him, but Pino spotted him first with the drone when he was in bar. You know, like it's this back and forth, ebbs and flows in that little 1v1. Still, it's a 6-2 lead. The boys on the desk were not happy with the way that Heretics played back on Bank. Well, they'll be certainly happy with the way they played here on Chalet, especially the duo of Upor and Flexy.
Yeah, been very dynamic.
And so far, no attacking round found for NIP here on Chalet. Bar game still, those 2 defensive rounds, the only site, the only rounds that found success.
Clutch active.
Doesn't look great on the Chalet resume.
We go to kitchen and dining now. 4 opportunities for Heretics to book out tickets to Cafe.
Nitro Cell. Early toss. Doesn't land.
Not too bad. I mean, Wizard's also done well to kind of just move away from the danger area. Very common repel spot, Nitro kind of spot, so Wizard's aware of it. Clutch drone from Wizard. Well, Hate's actually just lost his life to Upor, which shouldn't be too surprising the way that he has now been playing alongside Flexy. He joins him with double-digit kills, 22 between them. Advantage again for Heretics, another opening kill. They haven't been completely dominant in that area, but they've been stronger than NIP. Fantasy with the push through from Library. This could be the next big battle against Oscar at mezzanine position. Fantasy by himself. Uport has now slipped in as well to help out. They've lost Wizard. Fantasy's in some trouble. He's stuck into the corner, but he does get the collection onto Uport. And the trade was there. They've got the numbers. Relentless aggression on the defense from Heretics. And it's a 4 versus 1 against Pino, who couldn't even win the 1v1, shakes his head and knows this map is done and that Cafe is required in this series.
This has been a suffocating performance from Heretics. They have given NIP so few opportunities here on Chalet.
There's one. Almost immediately traded, knows that he's in a crossfire, knows he's got enemies on both sides, all sides, surrounded as Chalet is decimated by Team Heretics. 7-2 beatdown by the EML LCQ champions. They are 1 map away from getting themselves out of groups.
That was a mega performance. If they can play like that on Cafe, this could be quite the upset.
13 kills from Flexy, 10 kills from Uport. Those 2 were outstanding as Heretics bounce back from their first map loss. It's Cafe soon to come.
It's a game of two completely separate maps, two completely expectations going into those maps as well. Map 1, we were hyping up Heretics. Map 2, we were hyping up NIP. And it just keeps flipping. The storyline, it won't stay steady.
It won't at all. And something that won't stay steady as well is the trade factor. I mean, we talked about Heretics being poor in it coming into this match. That's what we saw in NIP in map 2. They could not be able to get a trade succession. I mean, their opening kills were bad as it is. But when you're losing the opening kill for a team so aggressive as NIP in map 1, we saw them constantly trading. We did not see that in Chalet. It looked like Heretics just always had a response for what NIP was showing.
Yeah, they absolutely did. I mean, there's a few rounds that really showcase how well their attacks were looking, and then even on their defensive half. I mean, round 3, right out the get-go, the fact that Flexi finds this opening through Kitchen, regardless of the vertical pressure, instantly follows up with this kill in Kitchen, goes to find Fantasy, chase him down West Main, and then Upor getting 2 big, massive kills to open up this round entirely. It really came off the backing of Flexi. Phenomenal job from these two. And then you pivot into the round 7, where this was a big moment where we would eventually just see the synchronization between the two players of Flexi and of Upor being able to systematically play off one another, always keeping NIP on their toes, not knowing who was going to swing, not know who was going to take the engagement, but every single time Heretics was walking away with the man advantage, closing it out in a flawless round. And again, to have that synchronization such early on with these two players, especially from a player like Flexi with the least amount of experience, really again is showcasing how well this team is developing from one game to the next, and it is tremendous and exciting to watch.
Of course, and when you have the entries getting amazing kills to start off the bat, it makes things that much easier. But again, have to stress that Heretics being able to understand that the biggest issue is the trade game. And all those clips that you showed, what was the main common denominator? There's always 3-4 members in a man advantage situation for Heretics, ready to go against what NIP is going to show. So unfortunately for NIP, Heretics has been able to respond to the issues that they had in map 1.
Not just being able to respond, but the resilience. That is something that newer rosters don't typically have. The fact that they go down so bad, poor performance, they can't muster up success. That is the exact opposite that Heretics is showing.
Yeah, Heretics looked a little stiff going into map 1. Map 2, they were loose. They looked like they were having fun in the background. But we head to map 3, and Cafe should be very interesting. We have 2 individuals right now, Fox, that are absolutely leading their team.
Yeah, I mean, it has to go with Fantasy from the side of NIP and then Flexi from the side of Heretics, the 2 players that you would not have put neck and neck when it comes to coming into this tournament. But Flexi has been very impressive in and outside of the server. I mean, his interview yesterday was very good, but himself on the flex support, constantly being able to be there to support his team, be that player who's fixing out on those trades. As for Fantasy, we talk about it. He's the star for NIP, but when it comes to NIP, they play around him or bust. And even sometimes when they're playing around him, they're still getting completely blown apart by the fact that Heretics team play is taking advantage of the fact that everyone is focused on Fantasy. So he needs to be able to execute. He has all the pressure on his shoulders, and Cafe, the pressure is going to be on him to be able to find those openings.
We've been talking about opening kills, opening deaths, all of these things that are super important, but I mean, Cafe, this is going to be an absolute bloodbath, a bit of a battlefield, if I will, to say. Yeah, great throw. We're going to leave that with more capable hands than this Aussie with 2 blokes we brought off the street.
Oh, that was an excellent throw, Rob. Well done. Good from you.
Really
improving
good.
as you go along. 7-3, 7-2 on the first 2 maps. We now head to Cafe for the decider. The beauty of the fact it's day 3 at SI here in groups means that if you win this map for Heretics, you are out of groups. You are qualified for playoffs, and we are down to a 50% split on the socials.
It's anyone's guess from here, Jake. This has been a real back and forth. NIP just leading the prediction.
Let's get this 3rd map underway. Well, the desk spoke at length and highlighted Fantasy and Flexi. I also want to give some props to Upor and Hates. They've been sort of the Robin to the Batmans, if you will. Upor 19-14, 3-3 on the entry, so he's been actively involved. For Hates, 4-1 on the entry, 14-11. So those 4 players overall have been the standouts for their respective teams. Grubby also around in the 5th best player kind of conversation so far in the series, 97 EPS. But it's been a bit quiet from the likes of Wizard, 8-13, Skeptic, 5-11, although he had some good moments. It's going to come down to Cafe, though, and we know defensively it's the most defender-sided map so far at SI. Heretics begin there in the first half, so they'll need to get rounds on the board.
Yeah, it's been an intriguing series so far. To be frank, probably more entertaining than I expected on paper. Sure, it's been back-to-back 7-3s, so not necessarily close in round count.
7-2 on the Chalet.
Oh, 7-2, my apologies. So even even more lopsided. But the fact that it's now, you know, pivoted into a third map, and it's so tricky to have a read as to where this one may lie. It's yeah, a tantalizing prospect. The bans for this opening half is very quickly Monty, Nomad, Azami Castle.
Is it a case of following the one trend that has kind of gone across both maps, which is the 4 players that we've been kind of talking about? So what happens if, you know, one of those or 2 of those have a step down here on Cafe, then who's ready to step up, make an impact? That's going to be the question mark. So very curious third map to follow along. And honestly, as the social prediction kind of went, genuinely think it is 50-50 when it comes to this third and final map. Heretics, of course, more to gain. If they win this, they cannot get grouped. NIP begin on the attack.
Yeah, pacing and tempo is going to be intriguing on Cafe. It can, at times, be a slugfest, especially if teams on the attack opt to go top-down. Not wanting to be too high risk. We'll see how NIP is shaped for this opening round. At least early doors suggesting that may be the case. And Heretics will meet fire with fire on this top floor initially. 3-2 split for them. Flexi a long way off over towards Small Bakery, so we'll keep that in mind as well. On the solos could be impactful as the round progresses.
Flexi on the roam towards red stairs. And this already has a tense feeling about it in this third map. Every moment so pivotal. Early Candelas thrown in. Fantasy caught early though by Grubby. Cons take it very low. Good response from Pino, pushing into washrooms off of his Candelas, but they did indeed lose Cons. Grubby now also in a battle. He too now on about 1 HP. Hate pushing through Cigar. He gets caught though by Flexi, who was holding top red stairs. The flank works for Heretics. The defensive lurk roam pays dividends, and now they've got the 2-player advantage for the remainder of this opening round. Frag grenade from Wizard, followed then by the drop top red. Flexi though still inside a cigar shop. The numbers are here for Heretics, and Flexi just keeps on flexing on NIP. Wizard by himself, they know exactly where he is located. It's Grubby up close, who's also around mining now. Actually, it was Flexi who was up close. He lost his life, 1v3. Grubby is low, so is Skeptic. So is Wizard, unfortunately, into the final 50 seconds. This becomes very difficult for the solo.
Yeah, it's low percentage from here. See if Wizard can muster up something special. Doesn't have the diffuser, though. And plenty of utility in his way. Strong round from Heretics. Again, making a statement in the opening round. Their pressure has been a real standout over the last dozen or so rounds.
Oscar's dropped, by the way, into Pillar, so if Wizard goes out that way, he is going to be probably dead to rights down to the corridor. Does get the kill to Skeptic, who was low on health. The swing comes, though, from Grubby. I don't know if telling your opponent to wake up is always the right idea, Grubby.
I wouldn't want NIP to be waking up.
Exactly. I will say, though, Heretics now lead the series for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why that sounded so German. You're the German one of the two of us.
And honestly, a decent round from Heretics, because NIP actually tried to bring some aggression on that top floor clear.
Yeah, we saw that explosive play from Pino to open up the account, but again, Heretics meet fire with fire. Flexi with a great rotation. He nets 2 in the round. Again, it wasn't that long before this where he's lurking down below trying to gather information, but then he finds his route towards being an impact player, and that's kind of been his strength, especially on Chalet, has been impact. That continues here on Cafe. That's going to be a big boost for Heretics. Early days though, second round to follow.
And what helped him really there is the fact that no one from NIP went for a top red kind of drop down the hatch entry at that point. It was more around corridors, for instance, and cocktail. So then it allowed him to have this gap, this space to push up red stairs, and he's just completely by himself, gets 2 kills. We are expecting, though, defense to be much, much stronger here on Cafe. That's the expectation. The NIP can't get into their heads if they do drop the first 2, 3, maybe even 4 rounds. So we go from reading Fireplace to now mining Fireplace. Small change up for Heretics. Grubby early. Nitrocell is thrown. That wasn't too far away.
Quite close. NIP would not have heard the end of it if that one were to have landed, and it would have actually been very impactful. The Deimos with 4 deathmark targets available, but the Nitro, of course, does go astray.
I don't mind the early attempt, though, from Grubby, because really sitting under that skylight, you don't want to do that for too long. Upal finds the opening kill onto the round, gets rid of Pino, and gets rid of the Buck. So they can almost now inadvertently say, hey, we don't worry anymore about them having 3rd floor control and, the Buck getting to work with the skeleton key. So if they want, they could actually bring it all back, and they kind of are. And now it's a bit more standardized. It'll just be cocktail. You've still got 1 lounge, never mind. Oscar's actually going to rotate off. He's going to fall back too. So Heretics know, you get the opening pick, we get rid of the Buck, we can start to fall back.
Yeah, stripping away that verb potential here is massive for Heretics, and NIP will need to pivot accordingly. Some information on site available, but actually translating that into kills will prove to be a challenge.
And Grubby all the way down 1st floor as well. So he's around VIP right now. Oscar gets caught. Nice kill and catch from Hate. So they get rid of the clash, brings it back to a 4v4. Full top floor control now for NIP established. No more Nitrocells left for Heretics. Grubby will play VIP and then can push up White Stairs later in the round.
There's a drone inside of Train Museum.
But again, this is now the lack of the Buck, though.
So being reliant on Fantasy with that Vendetta. Yellow ping still available. But Skeptic playing this really smart. He's positioned rather safe.
Well, NIP is going to be so low on time here. If he had had the Buck with the skeleton key, would have been able to just go bang, 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 open up his floorboard. They still haven't been able to collect his kill. He is just stuck inside a train. Skeptic doing a decent job of staying alive, but NIP missed opportunity. And again, there's only 24 seconds left. They need to pick up this pace now towards the end of the round.
They've really butchered that opportunity to have the lead heading into this execute. Now, 4-4, 15 seconds.
Upal with a decent angle. Skeptic finally gets clear, but now we head into red time. Flash is thrown. Flexi finds a kill onto Cons. Upal was full white. Hates dropped, then dead in quick succession. Fantasy as well, falling to Grubby, who came up with the flank. Wizard by himself, no time, of course. It is 2 straight for Heretics. They are hyped up now, knowing full well what's on the line. 5 more rounds, and you're into playoffs.
Now this is testing the mental, I think, of NIP, and you can see it pretty evidently, their body language, they look very quiet.
Primeiro, de terceiro, eu quero que a gente põe Clash. Segundo, por que a gente não tá se conversando quando a Clash tá na porra do relógio pra gente só fazer um drop claraboia, tá ligado, velho? As coisas simples, tá ligado? Por exemplo, a gente tá gritando, mano, vamos abrir o sapão, vamos abrir o sapão, vamos abrir o sapão. E o Maguinho tá lá na porta da neve, mano, de MP, mano. Que merda é essa, mano? Que merda é essa que a gente não tá se conversando direito, guys? A gente não pega, primeiro, a gente não tá pegando intel de nada, então sai dessa porra, dessas escadas e faz a merda do parkour do Sagon ali, mano, pra gente pegar mais intel dos bagulho, velho. Se a gente não pegar, já falei, mano, vamos jogar de Twitch bravo, pra jogar com 15 drones se a gente precisar, tá ligado, velho? Mas se conversa é melhor, mano. Provavelmente eles vão cozinhar agora, mano. Lembra nossos planos, mano, pra contra-avançada deles, tá? E contra do hold normal deles. Demorou? Pega Deimos pra caçar da Fantinha, porque se eles estiverem um pouquinho avançados...
I actually don't have the greatest Portuguese, but I'm almost certain there was a bit of swearing in there as well. So clearly not happy with how things are going after 2 rounds. We kind of spoke about this on Chalet in terms of early tactical timeouts. And I usually feel like 3rd round onwards, it's fine. It might be early, but 3rd or 4th round, that's fine. Once you're doing it in the first 2 rounds, though.
I think that was a far-up timeout.
Yeah, exactly.
They just looked really quiet, and the body language looked rather negative. Guys, we're only 2 rounds in. You can throw away a couple of rounds and recover a map. It's certainly not the end of the world.
Well, especially when you're attacking into Cafe.
Yes, that's where you need to be positive. You've got to find those playmaking opportunities. Heretics are running all over them at the moment. To be fair, they did try to make some plays in that last round. Really good info. Train, a great example.
10 seconds to go.
The conversion was really poor, soaked up a lot of time, and just gave them no options in the last 15, 20 seconds of that previous round.
And the concern for me, though, if I'm NIP, is the fact that Newport, Flexi, again, playing well. Grubby now playing well, too. He adds an extra element to what we've seen from Heretics on the firepower scale. And on, you know, the flip side of things, when you, again, look at the series as a whole, Fantasy's been the #1. He's so far yet to find a kill. A bit of help from our lovely friend Maria, who was saying that they were talking about communication being really bad, not having enough information either, so not getting intel, and then also joked about picking Twitch, Brava, playing with 15 drones to get intel if that's what they need. Which we do see the Twitch, not quite the Brava, but clearly the conversation, the basics, communication, information, you know, not really working for us, especially on the attack, so vital.
Now let's get those fundamentals right.
Well, there's some information. Now communicate it.
Okay, yellow.
There's the yellow ping. And almost the kill, but Grubby gets away.
Siege can be a very frustrating game at times when the little 1%ers aren't going your way like that. There's a different world in which the headshot lands, a 5v4, you start to gather momentum in the round. But Grubby, he escapes. But will remain 10 alive inside of the server. And this lineup from the Heretics defense, the clash of play, the smoke as well, Warden even as well can get in on the action late round. They should be quite strong. NIP will now look to pivot and respond. They still have the tools available, of course, to deal with that. But it just increases that difficulty curve a little bit. Pino on the buck this time around, so vert play available. Looking to flush out this site.
And strangely enough, there's only a minute left. So you've got to start to question as well the pacing too, if you're NIP. Like, you still got to deal with the clash later in this round. You've finally got, you know, trained in mining control, work on these floorboards. That REU is not going to go down. That second one will. That was also the last one, though, for Con, so you don't even have a backup one. He's going to push down, trying to clear out towards Bar. Skeptic inside a coat check. Still good positions here for Heretics. Two quickly found. Cons will get one. That's in the back of Skeptic. Lexi, though, got rid of Haze, so numbers firmly with Heretics. Cons, he gets shut down. Upor fights his third kill of the game. Pino by himself, pushing down Brown stairs. This is looking like a third round straight for Heretics, and for the second map straight, NIP, out of a tactical timeout, will not find a successful round win.
It's feeling a little bit like the foundations of NIP are crumbling.
Well, as Skeptic said, back on Chalet with the Z's, he's bored. He does it again here as well. 3-0 for Heretics, 4 rounds away from playoffs.
And immediately a shake of the head from Pino.
And he did that as well on Chalet. So you're starting to wonder, is the tilt setting in for NIP?
I think so. The one thing I would really love to see, or I suppose hear, is the comms from Heretics.
Pino looks devastated.
Yeah, the comms from Heretics surely have got to be really flowing at the moment. We saw it back on Chalet. That last round there, a good example here on Cafe. Where just really quick trades. They're finding good positions. They're double teaming on opponents from NIP with, you know, really good tempo. It's been fun to watch. And NIP just constantly playing on the back foot.
3 opening kills straight as well for Heretics. Grubby, Upor, Flexi. Grubby, Upor, Flexi. That has now been the series off the back of those 3 players. Flexi's 5-1, Grubby's 4-1, Upor's 3-1. You look at the summary of the entire series, Flexi's up to 25 kills, 12 deaths. He is the best player in the server across 3 maps now. Upor's not far behind him with 22. Grubby now over 100 EPX. So it's gone from a dynamic duo to now a 3-headed Hydra. And NIP have just got no response. Tactical timeout didn't work.
Have we seen a Heretics tack throughout this series at all? I don't remember it if we have.
I don't believe so. We definitely didn't get on the Chalet. So if it was back on Bank. It would have been a while ago, but I Not even sure if we got one there. Again, emphasis for this half, it needs to be stated. 2 attacking rounds for NIP, par for the course. Sure. That's fine. That's totally good. So they've got 3 opportunities to find 2. Ying and Clash Bands.
We've got to see them find another gear, though. They've been stalled out here. The first 3 rounds strong from Heretics.
But they're just starting the rounds well. I mean, NIP haven't been able to really get a semblance of decent map control, find a pick, start to then, you know, force Heretics to roam around on defense. Nitro here from Grubby. He missed one up on the roof earlier. That one's going to fall short.
Oh, just. Good attempt.
Good attempt indeed. Oh, Fantasy's getting shot. But he just overextended on the rappel.
Oh my goodness.
That is a very rookie mistake from Fantasy. Maybe he wasn't expecting for Grubby to push a little bit to find that extra angle, but he does get the Deimos to half health. Fantasy was exceptional in the first 2 maps. 0-3 so far on Cafe.
Midpoint of the round. Some lurk potential.
Another
for
opening
NIP.
kill.
It's the opening kill.
And it's the shotgun
super shorty
from the new Mozzie. Oscar with the Nitro onto cons. Falling apart right now for NIP. They look like they are drowning. A leg spotted and then cannot find the kill. Is that the 3rd time we've seen an opportunity for NIP to catch someone off guard from Heretics or punish a positional mistake? Yes, Upaw's on 1 HP, but it really should have been a 4 versus 3.
Minute on the clock. Fantasy boots on ground. Half HP.
Oh, one over towards Cocktail. Oscar goes down. A bit more doable. Oscar, to his credit, at least took one with him. Got rid of Hates. 45 seconds for Fantasy and Pino. Trying to clutch this round from a 2 versus 4 deficit. It could be the circuit breaker they need.
Likely on Volcam as well. There's info available inside of bar here for Heretics.
Yeah, good spot. Oscar watching that one. There's also one over towards Cigar. Drop down from Fantasy into Villa. No one playing close by, though, inside of reading, so he does walk his way straight on in. Longer angles, though, as the walls have been opened up. Fantasy getting closer towards Laundry. It's only 14 seconds, by the way, and Pino still has got that kit. But right now, Fantasy by himself. Yellow ping intel, double kill from Skeptic, and the round goes the way of Heretics once again for the 4th time straight. 4 rounds straight, 4 opening kills straight. 2 more rounds to go in the half, and dare I say, NIP need to win them both.
Yep. And the unfortunate thing for them is they haven't looked particularly competitive in any of these rounds so far.
Yeah, if you look at the survivals, 2-2, 4-3.
Yeah. The fundamentals have crumbled beneath their feet here in the 3rd map.
They're just lacking any kind of semblance of early advantage. You're not getting the opening kills, you're not stretching the defense. And Cafe's a very difficult map to gain. Good map control. You can get map control in Cafe, but a lot of it can be kind of useless.
Oh, it's definitely tough. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
Cafe is a very challenging map, but...
And I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast as well, but yes, off just 1 series, and yes, off just FearX, but Heretics had a 71% defensive win rate in that series coming into today. So, strong defensive team on a strong defensive map. Kind of put 2 and 2 together.
Going that way so far.
Only a 42% attacker win rate for NIP coming into today as well. That put them 13th. So, you then couple that with a team that's not exactly prominent on the attack themselves. As I said, still 2 rounds, 2 opportunities for NIP. You win these 2 and you're right back in it. You're in a really good spot then going into the 2nd half. Just got to stay locked in. Another early Nitro Cell play. Grubby this time at the 2.5 minute mark. Upaw's playing aggressive with the DMR up close. Drone thrown on through. Upaw's will back up through shop. One thing, though, that Heretics haven't done, despite being rather aggressive, is any runouts.
True. It has been pretty contained. It hasn't been...
Flex is thinking about it here, and as I've mentioned it, he does go for the run out. Oh, that is close. Forced the drop off the rappel.
But he didn't overplay his hand.
No, he didn't. He didn't overextend it. Oh, and then Flexi catches Pino. Oh, that was some beautiful siege from Flexi. Because he had every right, if he wanted to overextend that hand on the bakery run out. Another opening kill for Heretics. They lose the buck again for NIP.
Close Nitro, Fantasy able to dodge it. 1 minute 15 on the clock, and opportunities for NIP to get attacking rounds here on Cafe to keep their head above water, not only on this map, but potentially this event. Starting to wither away.
He's only got one death mark target, by the way. It's Skeptic, and he's playing Train. So you know, like, what are you gaining from that? We've been in this position before.
Yeah,
They couldn't clear him last time, and he'll just sit there again. So you're getting nothing out of your Deimos. Flexi did get taken down to 1 HP, by the way. Skeptic, the frag grenade, that's going to be a nuisance.
He survives again!
Did not clear him from Train.
No.
Even with the frag grenade dislodging his position.
He's smirking.
Skeptic is playing a really good game of duck and weave. 30 seconds, by the way, on the time. NIP, if you're not aware, time is now running out. Deathmark onto Oscar, forces him back into reading. Flexi finds the kill onto Wizard, and they've just dropped all together. It's flawless from Heretics. Let's go! Oh, they are hot right now. NIP floundering.
Wow. Things are going from bad to worse for NIP. One more opportunity to get an attacking round on Cafe against the LCQ team from EML.
Wow. After Bang, certainly didn't expect this to play out the way it did. 7-2 Chalet, 5-0 Cafe.
Flexi, I mean, he was the one to open up the account, and then
in the last 14 rounds played between these two teams, it has been absolutely one-sided. 12-2.
Yeah.
Razor Bloom, go now.
I don't think anyone saw this coming, not to this extent. Remarkable from Heretics, and it comes at the perfect moment. Their opportunity to book themselves a ticket into the second phase of this Six Invitational.
And it comes back to sort of what I touched on very briefly before this map was, you know, we've had the quote-unquote top 4 players, 2 from Heretics, 2 from NIP. That's been the storylines. What was going to be a difference maker? The difference maker is probably Grubby. Grubby's 6-2-2. He's been able to have 2 opening kills. He's been active on the defense with his Nitrocell usage. And you still then had the same output from Upor and Flexi. So those two haven't dropped at all. Fantasy on the flip side, like pretty much his entire team, is struggling. Nothing working for NIP on the attack of Cafe. Heretics win this, they go 6-0 up, then they just go to cheese 1 round and they're done. And they're into playoffs.
The Capital set play here, Bakery from NIP. Cupcake clear.
Yeah, got to execute this nicely.
And they let him out again.
Oh, he's gotten away.
He's the one with the kill.
Newport gets away. Logic Bomb was activated as well from Hates. NIP throwing Caution to the win. They're going to pick up the pace and go for a rush through Bakery. Now, there is a drone. There is yokai drones everywhere, by the way.
Wow.
Everywhere. Welcome to the new yokai. You got 3 of them. Oscar, though, opening death. Fantasy. Finally, the first opening kill for NIP in this half. They've got Bakery control. They've got nothing up above, though. Hates is now over towards red stairs, so a little bit of a split. Frag grenade deeply thrown, avoided though by Heretics, and now they just spray and pray.
They may be a player down, but Oscar now can sit on those Yokos, on those Maestro Evilize, and feed info to the rest of the defense.
Grubby again, and then subsequently will drop in towards Freezer. Deathmark activated onto Upor. Frag grenade, second one thrown by Fantasy, trying to put the pressure onto Upor inside of Cooking. Gas Babe thrown out by Flexi. He's got now none left. Still over a minute remaining. Hates over towards Museum, starting to just try and give NIP some kind of vert.
Is this a stall out or a build up for the attack? Oh, it pushes forward. 3v3.
Pushed forward past the nade, found the head of Cons. At least 1 for 1 there from Upor. Pino collected in 3v3, coming down red stairs now as Hates to offer a point of difference. Deathmark onto Flexi. Grubby takes some damage towards Freezer, but there's no real pressure over towards VIP or Freezer's side of the map. So for Heretics, they are able to keep their attention towards the bakery side of the map. They know exactly where NIP is pushing from.
The util lacking for NIP. Can they find an opening with 30 seconds on that clock?
They got 2 flashes, 1 frag grenade. Fantasy low on health, but does still have a death mark as well. Hates to stay over towards red stairs. Well, a shake of the head again from Pino because Flexi is able to catch his head. 1 and 2 now for Flexi. Forces Hates into action over towards the corridor. He's caught though. Fantasy, 1 HP, 1v3. Not surely possible, which puts Heretics now 6-0 up. They have 6 match series playoff points.
Oh, wow. Another strong round from Heretics. Wasn't the best of starts. They lose that opening pick, but they back themselves in with the Maestro info, the Echo info. They don't feed any more picks for free, and we see NIP stall out. They find themselves in a leading position for the first time in this half, and they don't know what to do with it.
Well, are we going to see a 7-0 to close this series out? Heretics, dominant on the defense of Cafe. And we get the bands to come through for the second half. It's Azami, Castle, Ying, and Glaz.
And Heretics with plenty of opportunities to go for broke here, play ultra aggressive. Early round, Cafe can certainly facilitate those opportunities. They just need to connect the dots on one of these occasions.
And funnily enough, by the way, we didn't go top floor once in that first half. And immediately to start the second half, we go bar cocktail.
NIP just getting... I was finding it very difficult to ascertain, was it stall out or was it build up? And trying to get a feel as to what NIP were gaining in those large portions of the round where they were quite stagnant. It seemed like the info gathering was weakened, the utility was starting to lack, and it did lean towards stall out in the end.
You know, NIP have not had a single plant in this entire best of 3. Not one plant, but not a single plant has gone down for NIP. Across Bank, Chalet, and now Cafe. I mean, that's got to be a little bit concerning. It's not the be and all, it's just one category, one statistic with many, but it is still a concern. Now the real question is, how quick do we close this map out?
Swapping.
For reference as well, a 28% plant rate for NIP over the last 6 months, so not particularly weak either.
Swapping mags.
Heretics looking to center this composition around the Monty. Flexi 8-1. And it's so much execute utility then surround that. The Grim, the line combination.
I like this spot here from Upor. Knows that Hates his stuck pixel. He knows he's in there.
He saw the shoulder, I think.
Oh, Fantasy though! From Cocktail. Okay, that's what you need, NIP. That can get you going and around. Upor has been very, very good in this series and had a very good position, playing the Grim, so no bees, no Quan Hive launcher. Get an opening kill for the second round running. And on defense, it's a lot easier to capitalize on that opening kill now. This becomes a bit more difficult for Heretics. Flexi on the Monty through shop. But who's going to be the one to find that next kill? Oscar in Lounge. He now falls. It was on 1 HP prior to that Nitro Cell, finished off now by Cons. And so NIP look like they're going to start the second half as best possible. 5v3 advantage. And with the Monty, you're now lacking a little bit of that firepower, so you've got to try and find a way to play off him. Grubby knows, though, that Wizard is stuck here in bar, but it doesn't matter. Jump out. There's Grubby getting the kill onto Wizard. 2v3, still over a minute. Can Grubby find a way back upstairs to play behind the Monty? Nitro thrown nicely, but it gets Flexi only to half health.
Does a good job to stay alive, and Grubby getting the kill.
Oh, Fantasy was looking deeper down red stairs. Fantasy then collects the kill onto Flexi. No more Monty. Grubby in the 1v3 to try and 7-0 NIP.
Discipline, boys. 3 versus 1.
Don't peek. Don't need to give him anything. If you were 6-0 up, sure, you could run, but you're 6-0 down. You stay, you hold. Oh, the swings keep coming, though, from Fantasy. And he's out. Headshot, Grumpy, but Pino with the DMR. Oh, they survived to fight another round, but need 5 more straight.
I believed for a split second that he may have been able to pull that one off.
If he had pulled that one off, NIP would have been tilted for the rest of groups.
Probably. 6-1. 5 opportunities remain for Heretics in regulation to secure their spot in Phase 2. Kitchen to be the second side of choice as we look back at that previous round. Upor caught a strong position. Wizard was known underneath Skylight for a large portion of that round, but they ran out of utility to dislodge. Filters down to
if he had hit that headshot onto Pino first time, it becomes a 1v1. Fantasy's low on health. He also knows where Fantasy is.
Probably wins it.
And Fantasy can't get the immediate trade because they're on the other opposite side of each other. So, yeah, would have been very doable. Well, for NIP, it's just a matter of 1 round at a time mentality. I mean, there is a lot on the line here in terms of what they gain points-wise for groups, so they will want to give everything they've got to get back into this.
5 seconds left.
Robbie goes to double digits, first to do so here on the 3rd map.
Think of the magnet as your lucky charm.
Yeah, rekindling a little bit of that form that we saw in that Fear X matchup where
Stay behind me.
he posted a 125 EPS, some really strong stats. It was a little bit quieter through maps 1 and 2 of this series, but has really come alive and created a trifecta for Heretics in this 3rd and final map. As mentioned, Kitchen side of choice. Monty to persist here for the attack.
I will watch your
Foxy jumps onto the ram, so vertical potential as well on offer here. Oh, Upor again dies early. Oh, but Flexi finds the trade and he'll be picked up. That's actually a net win for Heretics.
It is, funnily enough. Yeah, Upor goes from being almost the opening death. He'll now get revived, and the opening kill goes the way of Heretics. This is the way you want this round to go now for them, and he keeps the ROUs available on the Sens. So he can just kind of sit back and play a little bit towards the more back of the field. There are those ROUs that now get to go out. They wouldn't have had these had he been finished off. Shield screen's activated for Heretics. Monty v Clash coming up soon. To a pay-per-view near you. Clash versus Monty. Get him in the ring.
Well, Oscar's actually in a position to maybe drop for the back.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, I see a red outline.
Hates and Oscar very close to each other, neither of them realizing. Logic bomb. This might help for Oscar. Oh, no, he doesn't. He just drops. Oh, and he finds the kill onto Wizard anyway. Now that has activated Hate. Hate will drop straight back into Freezer as well.
He's going to get caught to the right.
Does he get caught? He does through the feet holes. Upor catches out Hate. It's only Pino that's up. The 7-1 against the Brazilians. It's only fitting. Pino to fall. And then that's all she wrote as Heretics are out of groups, but not the way that many would have thought. They're out of groups because they're going to playoffs.
Oh my goodness, what a game from Heretics. Wow, that final map, I'm honestly left somewhat speechless. Their ability to shut down NIP, phenomenal. On the flip side, NIP need to step up massively if they are to survive.
And Ninjas in pajamas now on the ropes in this group. It's not looking great. They've played 3 different teams and they've not been able to find a win. They're facing elimination from Six Invitational going into the next 2 days. Like, they need to pick it up and do so quickly. Their fate is on the line in their remaining matches. It's as simple as that. For Heretics, though, they're playoff bound. What an amazing job from the EML LCQ team.